Right now, I think we all need each other, especially those closest to us. With the banks overflowing on a river of rage, newspaper anger on every page, and none of the grown-ups are acting their age. What would I do without you? What would I do? What would I do? What would I do without you? When I go through the motions, unsatisfied, my job is stealing my last shred of pride, and all of the passion is trying to die. What would I do without you? What would I do? What would I do? What would I do without you? When there's no reason for reason, just exploited fears, and they only tell you what you want to hear, and that old echo chamber echoes so near. What would I do without you? What would I do? What would I do? What would I do without you? With my sun going down and my day almost through, and that paint store don't carry more shades of blue. Thank God for the kindness I can turn to. What would I do without you? What would I do? What would I do? What would I do without you? What would I do without you?
Good evening. I'm Glenn Maribach. I'm the music director here at the community church, and I'm a very poor substitute for Reverend Tom this week, but he's taking a well-deserved vacation, and I wanted to keep the Vespers going, and so here we are. I wanted to thank Eileen and Tim for the wonderful music that they've provided so far, and you'll hear another tune after my reading. The two songs, the song that Tim just sang that he wrote and the song we're singing later, put me in mind of love stories and being away from the people we love. And I found a story about John Cage, who's a contemporary composer, and his love letters to his spouse, Merce Cunningham, that I wanted to read. An excerpt from an essay by Maria Popova called John Cage's Intensely Beautiful Love Letters to Merce Cunningham. Composer, writer, artist, and Zen Buddhist John Cage, who lived from 1912 to 1992, pioneered the aesthetics of silence, but he was animated by a clamorous inner life. When he was 22, while dating another young man, Cage met artist Xenia Kashivarov. They were married in the spring of 1935, but Cage continued to discover his voice creatively, and he had no choice but to make room for his whole self. By the early 1940s, the couple had began to grow apart, and their marriage ended soon after in divorce. It was around the same time that Cage met the dance prodigy Merce Cunningham, who would go on to become one of the most innovative and influential choreographers of all time. Then, in his early 20s, Cunningham was one of several choreographers whom Cage had begun to work with in his quest to explore the physical dimension of sound. Although their relationship began as a creative collaboration, a vitalizing romantic electricity developed between them as they got to know each other. Cunningham became Cage's greatest love and remained his spouse for the remainder of the composer's life. In their first surviving romantic correspondence, postmarked June 28, 1943, Cage writes, "Dear Merce, I don't know when it was that I found out how to let this month go by without continual sentimental pain. It's very simple now because I'm looking forward to seeing you again rather than backward at having seen you recently. That's a happy way to be." In a sublime testament to the interplay of frustration and satisfaction in love, Cage adds, "I'm unsentimental, but I'm sitting at one of our tables and looking in a mirror where you often were. I don't know, this gravity, elastic feeling to let go and fall together with you is one thing, but it is better to live exactly where you are with as many permanent emotions as you can muster. Your spirit is with me." The following day, Cage writes, "Rain finally came and it is beautifully cool. Wonder how long it will last. It was marvelous because it started suddenly and then was alternately terrific and gentle. I think of you all the time and therefore have little to say that would not embarrass you. For instance, my first feeling about the rain was that it was like you. Love you." 3 days later, on July 2nd, Cage writes, "From the pit of longing, I get terribly lonesome for you. I nearly left this earth a few minutes ago. Ecstasy, word from you. Pretty soon I'll write music for you." Over the years that followed, their love only intensified. In a letter from July of 1944, Cage writes, "Your last letter is so beautiful I cannot answer it. Only read it and lie on it. I am often in deep pain. I am afraid I am not a human being. I talk to you all day long, but when I start to write, I cannot." Later that month, after many decades after Van Gogh articulated how love catalyzes creative work, Cage speaks to his all-consuming muse. "Today is beautiful, and I am dreaming of you, an enigma, and how we are together today. Your words in my ears, making me limp and taut by turns with delight. Oh, I am sure we could use each other today. I like to believe you are writing my music now. God knows I'm not doing it, because it simply seems to happen. The prestissimo is incredible the way you are, and is perhaps a description and song about each other today. Pardon the intrusion, but when in September will you be back? I would like to measure my breath in relation to the air between us." Cage and Cunningham continued to fill the air between them with love until the composer's final breath.